Good evening and welcome to the Nightly News, brought to you by St. Rose Television at the College of St. Rose. Today is October 15th, 2018. I'm David Meister.
And I'm Leanne DeMartino. Let's get into tonight's news. Tonight we will be talking about Mandala of Compassion, a conversation of loneliness, domestic violence awareness, the results of the 15 Minutes Max Film Festival, Homecoming and Family Weekend, St. Rose Sports, and we'll take a look at some popular movies.
From October 22nd to October 26th in the Hubbard Interfaith Sanctuary, St. Rose will be hosting Lama Karma Korpal for the creation of a Mandala of Compassion dedicated to world peace. Work on the sand mandala will occur Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and again from 2 to 5 p.m. Viewing of the sand mandala will occur Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
On Monday, October 15th, a conversation of loneliness will be held in the Hubbard Interfaith Sanctuary at 7 p.m. It will be held with other students and staff from other colleges, and pizza will be offered.
On Thursdays this month, Equinox, a service provider for victims of domestic violence, will be providing information about domestic violence and services available for those in need. The college has invited Equinox to campus to help students and staff become more aware of the issues surrounding domestic abuse and where to find support. Their table will be located outside of Camelot, which is located inside the EAC.
On October 13th, the 7th annual 15 Minutes Max Film Festival was held in the Carondelet Symposium in the Lally School of Education, hosted by Jackson Murphy. The festival received over 100 submissions. Only 11 student films made it through. A congratulations is in order to the winners: Rensselaer Polytech Institute student Yuen Uong, University of Albany students Lindsay Bystroff, Lydia Nightingale, Jonathan Peters, and Dustin Connors. Skidmore College student Maddie King, and Union College students Luke Dyer, Kevin Jordan, and AJ Hubbard.
This past weekend marked St. Rose's Homecoming and Family Weekend. President Carolyn J. Stefanko and the college community welcomed alumni, students, and their families. Many events, including a Hall of Fame induction for athletics, helped bring a good turnout to the college.
Now let's go to SRTV's meteorologist, Lauren Kaszuba, to tell us what to expect for weather for the rest of the week. Here's to you, Lauren.
Thanks, guys. So on Monday, we will have some rain with a high of 63 and a low of 42. On Tuesday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 55 and a low of 41. On Wednesday, it'll rain again with a high of 54 and a low of 33. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with a high of 43 and a low of 33. On Friday, it'll be sunny with a high of 57 and a low of 45. On Saturday, it will rain with a high of 55 and a low of 37. And on Sunday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 54. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Let's get into this week in sports. In men's soccer, the team was home last Saturday and had a match with the Assumption Greyhounds and pulled off a victory in front of the home crowd in double overtime, 3-2. The win snapped the Golden Knights' 4-game losing streak. With 4 games left on the season, St. Rose is now 7-4-1 and will be home again on Wednesday to take on the Adelphi Panthers. Switching gears to women's soccer, the Golden Knights were on the road to take on the Franklin Pierce Ravens last Wednesday and finished in a 2-2 draw. They looked for a more decisive result on Saturday against the St. Anselm Hawks, but fell 2-1. The loss snapped the team's 7-game winning streak it has had going since September 15th. With these results, St. Rose is now 9-3-2 on the season with 4 games left to play, and they will return home tomorrow to take on Adelphi. And finally, in women's volleyball, the team was on a 2-game road trip last week. The first game was against the St. Michael's Purple Knights, in which St. Rose swept 3-0. Game 2 of the trip matched them up against the St. Anselm Hawks, and they won again, this time 3-2. The 2 wins puts their record for the year up to 13-8, and will look to extend their win streak to 3 when they return home on Friday to take on the Merrimack Warriors. And that's all for sports this week. And do you enjoy movies? Not sure what to watch? Take a look at this episode from SRTV's movie reviewer Alan Hills as he discusses Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Hi, I'm Alan Hills, and welcome to the College of St. Rose's movie review show, A Night at the Movies, brought to you by the campus production club, St. Rose Television. Let's cut to the chase. The summer 2018 superhero blockbuster, Ant-Man and the Wasp, also the third and final Marvel Cinematic Universe film of this year, is now available on digital and will be released on Blu-ray October. So as always, here's the rundown of the movie. After 3 years since the first Ant-Man, or 2 if you count Paul Rudd's brief appearance as Scott Lang in Captain America: Civil War, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a decent sequel that Marvel really took advantage of to some degree. Unlike most MCU sequels, and by sequels I mean twos, the movie has a storyline that focuses on what we've all wanted to see the most following the end of both the first film and Civil War. While it does have a secondary plot that we could care less about, involving a villain who is trying to steal the Ant-Man formula known as the Pym particle, the movie is strictly about Scott helping Evangeline Lilly's Hope Van Dyne and Michael Douglas's Dr. Hank Pym in rescuing Janet Van Dyne from the quantum realm that Scott had previously been trapped in. The focus on this highly anticipated plot continuation is the ultimate reason as to why this sequel truly works, as well as the amazing performances of Rudd, Lilly, and Douglas. Michelle Pfeiffer's performance as Janet is also an amazing watch that Marvel President Kevin Feige described as legendary. Another legendary spectacle of this film is, in fact, the creativity with the Pym particle, which is once again off the walls. Director Peyton Reed really meant it when he said that it was going to have things in it that you've never seen in a movie before. Once again, Marvel continues to astound audiences with the Ant-Man and Wasp powers in a variety of captivating ways. Despite these elements that made the movie worthwhile, parts of it were incredibly hard to buy. Even though Hannah John Kamen's performance as Ava Star/Ghost was incredibly well acted, Lawrence Fishburne's appearance as a generic Marvel friend-turned-villain was where things really got boring. Plus, the typical Marvel quips especially felt like they were getting kind of old as well. Scott's buddies, the three Wombats, led a pleasant return, but rarely had any uniquely funny moments. The reason why I think these moments were hard to accept was because of Avengers Infinity War, which was traumatizing for the majority of fans since Thanos managed to kill half of the Avengers once he obtained all of the Infinity Stones. In the mid-credits scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott gets stuck in the quantum realm once again as the Pym family disintegrates. However, these imperfections are definitely not strong enough to ruin this long-awaited sequel. Ant-Man and the Wasp is a superbly produced blockbuster containing cinematic paratexts that are undoubtedly enough to satisfy any MCU fan. So be sure to brush up on this movie before everything truly culminates in Avengers 4 next summer. And that's all the time we have. I'm Alan Hills, and this has been A Night at the Movies. Thank you for watching. See you next week.
Are you a college student? Get some insider tips from SRTV member TJ Gibson as he discusses the merits of joining a club and why you should do it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Knight's Declassified College Survival Guide. I'm your host, TJ Gibson, and today we're going to be discussing something that every college student should at least consider, if not actually do, and that's joining a club. But not all clubs take place in a TV studio like this, so why would we do it here? Let's go. So the first thing that's really great about joining a club is that it allows you to make friends, and not only make friends in general, but particularly make friends that are engaged in things that you're interested in, and also that are probably in the same major as you if you're in a club that's involved in your major, and you might not be, and that's fine too, but if you are, then you're going to make friends who are going to have a lot of the same classes as you, especially like your upper class years where you're going to be getting into the grit of what you're involved in. Say like for somebody who's in communications, you'll have friends who can help you make your productions or help you with any journalistic stuff or PR stuff. If you're in business, you can have people that can help you, figure out how to make a pitch or something like that. You can have people to do research with if you're in more of a scientific field. So yeah, basically one of the great things about joining a club is that you make a lot of friends and you make friends that are involved in your interests. And so if you want to make friends, there's few better ways to do it in college than to join a club. So our next step is So that's been another episode of Knight's Declassified College Survival Guide. As always, I'm your host, TJ Gibson. See you next week.
That's all we have for the nightly news this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Leanne DeMartino.
And I'm David Meister.
For more information on any of our stories, take a look at the Chronicle, the St. Rose newspaper, both in print and online. See you next week.
Have a great night, everybody.